scams targeting veterans and members of the military are on the rise. And this Memorial Day weekend, as we honor those who serve our country, we're getting a better understanding of the scams these crooks are trying to pull. So here with the top 5 scams to look out for is local financial professional Mike Terrio with the Terrio Group. Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. I know you're feeling a little under the weather.
Fighting through.
We appreciate you coming in. Let's start with the 5 scams. What should we look out for, and what should our veterans be on the lookout for?
Yeah, there's 5 main scams that we see right now. The first one is going to be telephone scams. This one's very common. People receive a phone call, someone saying that they're coming from the Veterans Administration. They need to update their information for bank accounts or credit card information, even Social Security numbers. And before you know it, your identity is taken from you. So we see that happen quite a bit. The same thing happens within emails, though. We see a lot of active members that are going into the civilian world are getting these phishing emails. And these emails are asking them also to go join a chat room to talk about a new job opportunity. And before you know it, they're asking about their birth dates, credit card information, all these different things that is not normal for an actual job application. The third one that we see are these payday type of strategies for pensions, these pension payout plans. And it's basically a payday loan. So when people are having a difficult time financially, they want to get a lump sum, and they offset it by giving them a pension plan for a pension payout for a certain amount of time. Problem with this is the interest rates are gigantic, and we can see a lot of damage come from the veterans for this as well. Also with military personnel, we see quite often that they're moving from place to place.
Yes.
When that happens, they're looking online now for homes. And when they look online for homes, they see these houses, they like it, they decide they want to rent it. Person has them send them a wire transfer for the down payment, for the deposit. They never get the keys. It's a very common issue that we see. And then last but not least, something very similar within the auto world. People think they're getting gigantic military discounts. What they find out later, they're just getting a very overpriced car that's actually not valued where it should be. We're seeing this in the Better Business Bureau and all these different locations. It's becoming a problem.
It's really terrible that they're targeting our veterans who have sacrificed so much for this country.
Absolutely.
It really makes you angry when you think about it.
It's 100,000 people last year alone, and 50% of those were just dialed into credit card fraud and identity theft. So this is not a small problem.
So what are some red flags that veterans should realize right when they see it, like, hey, something's up?
Well, the good news is we're in a digital world, so do your research. Get to know who you're working with. Understand what the reputation is. We have our website, theterriogroup.com, where we have both links for the Better Business Bureau as well as the National Consumer Legion. And they can go on there and look at these different companies, find out what the reputations are. The second one, I think, is always keep your guard up. Okay, always keep your guard up. The job, the con man, is to become your best friend. And so if they've done that, they've also lowered your resistance, and then all of a sudden you can make bad decisions. So always keep your guard up when you work with people. Thirdly, at all costs, if you can, avoid wire transfers. Very difficult to track, almost impossible to get your money back if there was a mistake. Okay. So make sure you're looking for that type of scenario. And last but not least, if you're going on active duty, contact the actual 3 credit bureaus. They can put a freeze on your credit report, which allows them to make sure that they're protecting you from high credit risk type of scenarios. If there's loans being asked for, they have to verify them before that actually happens for you, and it helps protect you moving forward in the long run.
That's great advice. And finally, if a veteran finds himself in a situation where it's questionable, they have some concerns, is there a specific group veterans can contact? Well,
I would always contact the VA directly, or even contact your local law enforcement. Anytime that there's a question, I would always be more safe than sorry.
All right, Mike Terrio, thank you so much. Great advice. And of course, we salute our military men and women and our veterans.